Hello everyone. I just thought I'd come on and do a talking video since I've been asked why don't I do those anymore. Anyway, I was going to show y'all some things that I have just recently made, and some things I've made I haven't showed. And so anyway, I've been kind of into wanting to do some of these hook embroidery frames and do some things with them. So I made this, and I thought it turned out so pretty. Hope you can see it because I'm having to look through the camera. Anyway, it's got I made the little flower that's on there, a little shabby flower, and I bought those pictures a while back, and of course that's one of a kind, and I do not know who the lady might be because, like I said, I buy my pictures and then I use them, and I sometimes scan them in so I can have extra copies if I'm going to attach. This is actually the real picture on here, and it didn't have anything on the back, so sometimes when they're like that I can use them after I've scanned them. Anyway, I made this up with a lot of it was an old blouse, and it was snippets, and I painted around the frame with gesso, and then I covered it with laces. I think you can see that. I don't know how well I haven't videoed in a while, so I may not even do this very good. So, anyway, just thought I'd show that to you. And I know that a lot of you ladies are, your artwork is one of a kind, and I always say mine is one of a kind because I hardly ever, I might make another hook, but it won't be anything like that one. And I just thought that turned out so pretty. And I was going to fix it with streamers, but I set it on that easel, and I liked it on that easel, so it may stay on the easel because I do have the streamers hanging down on the side here, and I just thought it was so pretty. And then here was another one I made, and it's I've not got that glued down because I need to find me a real pretty pearl, flat back pearl to go in the middle of that. And it's got a real pretty not applique, but embroidery on the end there, on that real pretty doily. And I think Olivia gave me that. Thank you, Olivia. I believe it came in some of her, I still have strings, of course. We always have our little strings. We see them when we're videoing. Anyway, I thought that turned out pretty. I used little snippets up here. I cut them out and put them on the top, little flower snippets that, like those ribbon flowers that, they have little flowers, and then you cut the little flowers off. Anyway, and on both of these, I used a lot of that blouse that I cut up, and I thought the streamers on this one was really pretty because I did tatter up a lot of that from the blouse. And a lot of this laces that I show are very vintage. I've had them for a long time. The small laces. I'm glad I have a lot of the small lace. Anyway, I thought that turned out. And this embroidery hook, I believe, is the one that I used to embroider with long years ago. I used to love to embroidery, and I never finished anything. My mother was a great embroiderer, and I was always like, oh, I never can get finished with it. But I always like to do it. It's very, very relaxing. And anyway, I have a lot of pieces that are embroidery that I've bought through the years, and so I do enjoy that. And I thought that turned out really pretty. And then this is an old, I got it hung on that one, an old vintage mirror, and it's also made with that tattered cut up blouse that I found. And enjoy the journey, be brave, and see the world. I would love to see the world, but I'll just see it through the videos and such. I'll probably never go anywhere other than around. They better not get the shine in that one. But anyway, this mirror was not in a good shape, so I kind of camouflaged the back. but it's a real pretty old, and I bought it real cheap. And I love these old vintage mirrors. I even have one I use to do my hair with, and it's a real good mirror. And anyway, I love that little girl. I bought those with that same, and I just trimmed around. It was actually a picture, and I just trimmed around it and cut it to kind of fit in there like a little frame. Anyway, I thought that turned out pretty, and I'll lay that somewhere in my house for someone to pick up and look at. And then I've been also working on some of these, more of these. Let's see. I love taking these old spools of thread. I find them at the resales, and I buy the bags of them, whatever. This has got a picture of my grandmother in it. I'm going to actually fix that down better. I never usually glue anything on these spools of thread. I actually use, I'll show you if I think I laid some down here. Okay. Let me pick them up. I actually use these most of the time so that the thread can still be used if I want to use it. And I buy these corsage pins. They're not really hat pins, they're more corsage, but I buy the ones with the pearls, and I use them to stick around and stick things down. See? That was an old crocheted heart, and those little angels are very, very old. They're pins, and I can't remember where I got them, but they are antiques, I'm telling you. And of course, my grandmother was born in the 1800s. She didn't, I was trying to get that picture. It looks like it's got a little in there. It's showing it, but it doesn't show it when I look at it, but it shows it in there. It's got a little bubble in it, but anyway, I'll flatten it down better. I'll probably put it on a piece of cardboard or something and flatten it down. But I haven't really finished it because I'm going to paint around that. And that's an old hoop, a little hoop. And then I put a crocheted doily, little snippet doily on top. And I thought that turned out really pretty. And I'll probably add more things to that before it's over with because I love making those. And this one here, I just did it up, and it's got a beautiful cameo on the front of it. And sometimes I set them on doilies, and this one it's got an old flower piece of, but see, even the cameo's held down by a one of those pins. But anyway, this thread here is very old, and my mother, I can see this in my mother's crochet. It's very, very fine thread, and she loved the fine thread. And then here's another one that I made up. It's got another little cameo in it and a little snippet that I fixed in some little tattered material. And there's an old flower that I fixed up, and I put that on top. And like I said, all this can come apart if I wanted to use it, so it's not anything that's permanent. And I have made, I think, some that I've made with glue. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm one of a kind, so I make them, and then I used to give them away, or I've given some away, and some of them I've just kept, and some of them I've taken apart again. And this piece of this one here's some pink thread, and somebody had mashed this spool. I found a big old bag of spools the other day, but it's real fine thread, and I thought, well, I'll be using some of that thread, but before I use it, I'm going to have it where it looks pretty, and I thought that turned out cute, and that's from Olivia. Thank you, Olivia, the picture, and that little ribbon gathered up there on the top. Back years in the 90s, the early 90s, we were doing up those ribbon barrettes, and that was on one of those barrettes that I made a bunch of those up. I don't know if I was making them for my granddaughters or what I was making them for, but anyway, I was fixing to get rid of the barrette, and I went, you know what, I'm going to take that off. I love that that ribbon because it was multiple colors. And so anyway, I thought, well, I'll just keep that. And so sure enough, I found a use for it. And I may put a pearl up in the top up there if I do decide to leave that together. And then here's another frame. I mean, not frame, but hook. And it's one of the oblong ones. I love finding these. They're kind of hard to find now, but when I do find them, I buy them. And this one will be real pretty to set up. And I discovered I had this little oval frame, and I'll probably put it in there, whether it be a picture or I'll make it with something like a snippet like this. One or the other. I'll do something. And of course, this will have a something in the background. Anyway, and I'll probably put streamers off of this one, and I might turn it this way. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. Well, I just thought I'd come on here and show a little bit of this and let y'all see. My sweet daughter has been so busy selling journals and doing, oh, excuse me, I'm hit the camera. And she made me this for my birthday, and I'm going to show it. It is absolutely, she's got a video up on her channel that she did it, but, oh, it's a sewing journal, and it's got a lot of my treasures in it. Isn't that just yummy? Look at that yumminess. And it is yummy inside, and I will show that. And then she made another wedding one up, and a little wedding, real pretty. I was making these, and so she said, I'm going to make some of those up too. And I think a lot of that's my stuff on there. But anyway, we just took some lids. I think it was, these were plastic lids, and covered them, patted them, and then just started appliquing, and we just put hangers. This one here is for a wedding. In the book that she had, she was selling it in her store, and I'll be showing this one too. Oh my goodness, this is just the most beautiful thing you've ever laid your eyes on. And I think I wonder if I'm getting the right light in there. Maybe not. Maybe I need to get over this way with it. Anyway, oh, it is absolutely luscious. And she's got a lot of old pictures in there, and lots of pictures she took in my house. So when she put that out for sale, I told her I'm buying it. Whether she liked it or not, because it had a lot of me in there, and I liked that part. And so she just laughed and said, okay. I told her, I said, I'll give it a few days, and if it's not so, but I was so happy that I was able to purchase it from her. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'm going to leave on that, and y'all stay extra safe in Jesus. And I'll be back, and I have more things to show. I have a lot of things I bought, but I'm not digging all that out. But anyway, I might bring a few things out that I bought lately. All right, I'll be back, and I'll see y'all later, and bye-bye now.